Do not attempt to adjust your podcast player. We are controlling the transmission. We are here to be your guide, helping you to explore local events, the art scene, music, theater, sports, and possibly a conspiracy or two. All here on the GCRX Radio and Podcast Network.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to In the Metro. I'm your host, Chuck Hill, your co-host, Kirsten, and Engineer Bill. All right, guys.
Hello, hello.
How's everything doing?
Hola.
Bueno taco, huh? Bueno dias.
Stop saying taco. Jeez. It's the second time out to get tacos. Jeez.
Yeah. Guys are coming to you live here tonight. That's right. We are all in the studio together again. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been with each other here in Studio B, right behind Garden Gate Tea Room and in front of Studio C. Got to give those places their props, because we're nestled right in the middle here. I guess right in the middle here. It's kind of nice and cozy. I kind of like it. Speaking of cozy, love the weather today.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm ready to ease right on into that summertime, though.
Now, let's have at least another couple more weeks of spring.
Are you a spring and autumn kind of person?
I'm a not extreme weather kind of person.
I kind of am. Yeah, either put the snow out or let's hit the sand.
So now I'll take the cold over the hot any day. I will take the cold over heat any day. I hate being hot and sticky and sweaty unless it's in a good way,
That's only because you can only take off so many clothes before you get arrested.
That's true. That's very true. But yeah, I can't, spring is great because, you have all the greenery is coming back. You're getting over the dead leaves and the dead trees. And, it's just nice because you're seeing life coming back, with all the plants, and it's starting to get a little warm at that point. Summer, I do like summer activities, but oh my gosh, is it so hot here in the Midwest?
Yes.
And humid.
Yep.
Humid, yes. If it wasn't for the humidity, it might be a little more bearable, but humid. And fall, I love fall. Fall is my absolute favorite season. But let's at least have a couple more weeks of spring if we can.
I like fall when it's a rainy winter. When I like the rain during fall, and it's the chilly kind of rain. That's a perfect fall for me.
Okay. Yeah, I like sweaters. I like to wear my sweaters. So sweater weather, I'm kind of nice about that. So Rebecca says, good evening. Good evening, my love. And then Shelly says, hi, Chuck Hill, Kim Pearson. Shelly Penrod is watching from I-55 heading home.
All right.
Awesome.
Be safe, Shelly.
Yeah, be safe. Look straight ahead. Just listen. Don't watch. Just look straight ahead. And then Rebecca says, keep your hot and sticky comments to yourself. Oh, but how was the weekend? What'd you guys do?
My weekend was pretty good. Well, it was great, and it was also an epic fail.
Oh,
Epic fail.
Epic fail.
I don't know.
So we'll start with the good stuff first before I go into my apology.
Sure. Wow, this ought to be good.
Yeah. Friday night, The Mill and the comedy dinner show.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't have one single negative thing to say about it, except one. I think our prices were extremely too low. It was $25 for general admission, $35 for VIP, and that's with The Mill. And it was a nice meal. It was JJ's. It was a pulled pork, mac and cheese, green beans. It was a plate full. It's what I would have paid for that. But the comics were so much fun. It was 3 of them. They all have Granite City connections.
Now, they were at Alfresco at one point also, weren't they?
Now, that I don't know if all of them were or if maybe 1 or 2. I don't know the history of
I
that.
saw those names come around before.
And I honestly can't tell you their names. It was just that much fun that I was too busy laughing. But the first guy was a blind guy. And he took his disability and made it just funny. Just absolutely funny. He captured us all when his girlfriend walked him out. He was holding on to her shoulder, and kind of said a few things like, it's okay to ask somebody why you're like this or what happened to you. I get that a lot. He said, now I get a lot of stares. I don't know that. I have to be told, but which was hilarious. And he said, okay, so, but I'm just going to go ahead and answer the one you really want to know the most about, like what happened. Well, my mother was right.
Oh.
And I don't regret it. And that set the tone. It was great. It was funny.
Yeah.
The second guy
get
was a Mexican guy that has been the circuit around here. Everybody seemed to know him. Ronaldo, I don't remember if that was his first or last name, but it was his last local show because he's heading on to bigger things
Oh, nice.
in Arizona. And his stuff was all about being half Mexican, half white.
Well, if he's heading to Arizona, he's heading the wrong way. They're supposed to be heading this way, not that way.
There you go. The shit writes itself. And then the headliner was a lady that doesn't live in Granite anymore. And she was 71 years old and she had it going on. So I seen people just belly laugh.
Yeah.
It was so cool. One of the things that was so neat inside there was just everybody. It was from different walks of life. It was not all the familiar faces that you see at the events. Wasn't like that at all this time. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Do you like the self-deprecating humor and the self-deprecating comedy?
I think it's how it's delivered, and this guy delivered it. He delivered it.
Yeah.
And it was funny. Everything he said, it was that type of humor that he said it, and then there was a delay while you thought about it. And then
do I laugh at this? Or?
Yeah.
Bust out laughing.
I mean, because nobody's going to heckle you over being blind, because then you're immediately the jerk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, look, that guy's got one leg. Well, jerk face, get out of here,
So what do you think about self-deprecating humor, Bill?
I think that if you're going to make fun of something and it's your own disability, then number one, you have the right to, and
sure,
you can encourage other people to laugh about it. I think that if there's something wrong, you got to find humor in it. Otherwise, you're going to sit and just dwell on it. Oh, I'm blind. Okay, well, you could just sit there and be depressed about it. Or, I mean, this guy's made something out of it. We had a guy come to our church that doesn't have any legs. And he made fun of it. And so you sit there, like you said, for a second, and you're like,
yeah.
But then, you laugh because I don't know. I've seen a few of those people like that. And I've seen people make fun of the fact that they're autistic or that they're like, high functioning autistic and it's funny. Like, hey,
he was funny.
These are the things that people are thinking.
Yeah. He was also said that he was autistic and that he was also ADHD. So he had just a lot going on.
Yeah. Oof.
And he was funny. He made us all laugh. And it was also one of those neat moments. I was sitting up towards the back, so I kind of got a view of the whole room, and to see people that didn't even know each other sitting at these tables. It was tables of 8. So some tables had all your friends with them, but there was others that it was general admission. And to see people looking at each other they didn't even know, and they're just high-fiving them and laughing, and it was a neat experience.
Comedy would be something scary, in my opinion, to get into these days, because gosh, you could easily get canceled. You can get canceled for saying something wrong just on a podcast like this, let alone making fun of the wrong thing at a comedy show.
Right.
What are people going to laugh at and be like, oh yeah, lightheartedness, and what are people going to be like, oh no, that was wrong. Like, well, wait, you just got done talking about the president getting BJ's in the Oval Office, and I said something about somebody being cross-eyed, and you're canceling me. Like, like.
Well, I guess that's always a fine line, because I guess that's one way to, if you're a celebrity or you're working on that, to keep from being canceled, is to self-deprecate, make fun of yourself, your disability, or can we say disability anymore? Or
I think it's still technically described that way.
Okay, so I guess that's really kind of the only way you can travel down that entertainment path and not get canceled or not get hated on by everybody.
That's true. I mean, if you're gay and you make fun of gay people, well, you're a gay person, so
or
like you have the right.
Yeah, or black people make black people jokes and things like that.
Yeah.
White people make white people
Yeah.
jokes, and I guess it's just it's interesting. I personally have never been a big fan of the self-deprecating humor because I think it's easy to make fun of your own disability or someone else's disability. I consider those easy targets. I consider it, and yeah, I'll use the word kind of lazy when you talk about it. I mean, I think real cerebral comedy comes from being able to find the humor in everyday things that everybody can relate to.
Mhm.
Because when you're talking about your disability, when someone laughs about, the fact that you've got, no legs or whatever,
Yeah.
they're kind of laughing at you, which also
Yeah.
kind of says that when you're not around and someone else says a disability joke or something like that, it's an easy target. It's an easy laugh. I've always just kind of felt that if you're going to, and you can't appeal to everybody, that's not what I'm saying, but if you're really going to go to the heart of comedy, it's the absurdity of everyday life is kind of what I think, but anyway, that's my own opinion on, the self-deprecating thing, fat people tell fat people jokes,
Some of the
because,
funniest fat
know?
people jokes, though.
yeah,
Like,
they
listen,
really. I had a Mexican friend of mine who used to
Dude.
tell me the best, like Hispanic making fun of jokes
Mhm.
ever,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was just, he was my friend. I thought it was
Right.
funny because I'm a
Right.
white guy hearing a guy make, jokes about another Hispanic, then he's Hispanic,
It is funny.
It really
It's
is.
very funny. Like the Mexican guy, he talked about how hard it is being, half white and half Mexican. Obviously, my dad was Mexican. I don't know who he was, but
Your dad was Mexican? Oh, him. Okay, never mind.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
who he was, but
yeah, that's funny.
yeah. And the other typical kind of thing was he was talking about how, how he's got to act differently when he's with, his Mexican people's
yeah.
friends. And, like here I am at a red light in my, Civic Honda.
Yeah.
And I look over and there's a bro, and immediately I'm doing this in the seat.
Right. Well, I mean, we all do that too, though. Like, you're going to act differently at your corporate workplace than you are like out
Yes.
with
Oh,
your
yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
and that's just one of those cultural things. Like everybody does that, like I don't make the
Yeah.
same jokes when I'm at the office that I do with my buddies, or we don't talk the same way. And
They all three had a different style. The headliner lady, her humor was audience directed. The picking on the
so she worked the crowd.
crowd work.
Yes.
I like that in comedy, like the Matt Rife type of working the crowd.
Yeah.
Like I dare you at one of those shows to heckle him, because like literally he just runs with it. Like you've opened the can of worms for him, and that's spectacular.
He's all over you like white on rice, man.
Two young girls, haven't knew one of them. Two very pretty young girls got up to go somewhere, either to wherever, and she stops her talk. It's like, hey, are you just going to shit?
Oh my gosh. I would have been like, yep, sure am.
She zeroed in on the
See you
mayor.
in 10.
Yeah.
Got him a few times, asked him how he became mayor. Did he lose a bet?
Did he lose a bet?
Nice. Next time these guys are in town or whatever, we really need to have these guys on here.
Yes.
Before,
that'd be great.
Before they're on there, I'm going to take my glasses off because I'm glaring myself.
A good time. Price is way too low in my
for
opinion.
a show with a meal. Yeah, that's
three comics.
astronomically.
How much was it?
low.
$25.
Wow.
Across the board, seated or general seating?
General seating, which was phenomenal. The VIP was one ledge up, and you had a bar in front of you instead of tables.
Okay.
And it was
$25 still?
35.
35. Okay.
So yeah.
Still, that's crazy. Yeah. For food.
Yeah, but you got to think about, this is a venue that is just starting in a city that is starting to rebuild.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely a value. Don't get me wrong. The cost, but we have to take in mind that 5 years from now they can charge $40 a head.
And I hope they do.
Yeah.
And looking at the people that were there, like I said, they were from all walks of life, and I just love the fact that it wasn't city people. Each table wasn't filled with people on the payroll or people there because they felt like they had to support. It was actually ticket buyers coming to have a good time.
Comedy shows are great. I mean, they just I don't think I've been to one the entire time I've been old enough to go that disappointed me. Like there are some that are better than others, but it's still something about laughter is great, and especially when you get those people that work the crowd and make fun of just things that everybody's thinking but nobody says.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think that's one of the great things about comedy is again, it's that nervousness. Like sometimes you get that nervous laugh or whatever, and the next thing you know, you get the belly laughs going on because it's like when you go to comedy shows, you're given permission to laugh about stuff that you normally wouldn't laugh about, or stuff that you normally wouldn't talk about. And I guess that's where, the comedians who make fun of their own things kind of excel at, a little bit, because
Right.
they're opening the doors. I mean, I still hold true to my comment earlier, that it's more cerebral to be someone with a disadvantage, a physical disadvantage or whatever, to talk about stuff that is not pointing them out. Just my opinion, and it's worth, I mean, it's like everyone else's opinion.
What do you think about celebrity roasts?
I love them. I personally love them.
I think they're funny,
and I think you know what you're getting when you go.
Right.
So it's all
once
it's
you
all
see the
good.
panelists,
Yeah.
you're like, oh dang.
You know who Don Rickles was?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I know
Oh,
you know who Don
absolutely.
Rickles was.
Yep.
That guy was a
Yeah.
savage, man.
Oh, didn't care.
No, he
Didn't
did
care.
not care. I mean, I saw some of the ones that he had done with like Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby and Sammy Davis Jr. Holy crap, man! The one with Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, dude.
That was insane.
You ever? So I don't know. Like, so they're on Spotify. Some of the old Rat Pack like performances they did at like the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas and stuff. The amount of racism
Oh yeah.
in those shows, between those, it's all staged and everything. It's the same act every single time. But just the racist comments that they make towards each other, not just Sammy Davis Jr., but Dean Martin and, the fact that he's Italian and all that.
Yeah.
It's just astronomical. It's just like it's on that high on that list of things that wouldn't fly today at all. We were talking
no
about
way.
that one day, like what movies wouldn't fly today? Blazing Saddles.
Oh, that number one. Are you kidding me? That thing wouldn't even get out of the treatment.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It's nuts, dude. There's a lot of stuff you go back and watch and you're like, oh.
Well, there's even stuff like cartoons, like the early Looney Tunes stuff.
Oh man.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
There's no way that some of that would get like there's one. I don't remember the exact name of it or whatever. It's called. I believe it was called Lazy Town USA or something like that. You want to talk about something that's just blatantly racist. I mean, and this is what America was showing its kids on Saturday mornings.
It's normal. It's part of culture.
Yeah. And there were some Three Stooges episodes that, aren't any good now. And even Superman, like All American, Truth, Justice, in the American Way. I mean, there's just some things that you can't watch, today. So let me ask this question, since we're kind of on this topic a little bit, and comedy and what's right and what's wrong and things like that. Do you guys think, both the two of you sitting here in the room, and also I want to address those of you that are watching right now, I mean all three of you that are watching right now, do you guys think that there's a place for racism in comedy if you're presenting or talking to or entertaining those of your race? Like if you have, let's say you're at a Fluffy concert, or let's say you're at a Chris Rock concert. I mean, is it okay? Or a Cat Williams. There's one we can go to right there. Ooh, let's talk about him tonight a little bit too.
Ooh, okay.
But and when Nick comes back on again, I definitely want to talk about Cat Williams. But I mean, is it okay to be racist if you're around your own kind of people? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? For comedic sake, not for hate's sake, but for comedy's sake. Okay. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the world is oversensitive and totally stupidly offended. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
No, I appreciate that, because the reason I ask you that is because is it over offensive? Is because there's some stuff that is pretty just flat out racist,
Mhm.
and then there's other stuff that's borderline, and there's other stuff that's kind of funny. Oh yeah, ha ha ha! White people don't wash their legs. I mean, stuff like that.
What?
You haven't heard that?
No.
Oh, it's big on a lot of the black comedians, have talked about white people and their hygiene habits, and apparently we don't wash our legs.
I didn't get the memo, so
Yeah, I mean, I
I
didn't
could have been
either, but-
saving soap this whole freaking time. You fellow white people, you failed me. Just saying.
So,
Women, you're good. You shave. It's the same.
but yeah, I mean, the level of racism, like, is there a level that's okay?
You want to go first?
I'm full on. I was also raised during the Archie Bunker.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Another show that would not get made
Okay.
these days.
Good Times.
Yeah.
The Jeffersons when they would visit Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not offended by any of that. I'm not with the woke, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the
yeah,
right
the woke
thing.
culture.
It takes a lot to offend me, and somebody telling jokes is not going to do it.
Yeah, there's a new phrase going around:
Let's hear it.
"Go woke, go broke." Seriously, a lot of businesses are suffering
Mhm.
because of their woke standards. Even Disney is having a really difficult time right now with the woke agenda. Schreiber,
Like
I
the
knew
Bud
that
Light
you were gonna-
thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the
Okay.
thing. Like, the media does a really good job of focusing on a incredibly low percentage of people that are in that category.
Yeah.
And making their voices really loud. So they seem like they're a higher percentage than other folks are. To me, if you go to a comedy club to watch a comedy show, especially knowing who the comedian is, and you go in there with a soft mind, we'll say, that's very easily triggered, then you are the problem, because it's comedy. We're making fun of a situation.
Yeah.
Each ethnicity, race, whatever you want to call it, has their own little quirks. These people do this, these people do that. Us white people apparently don't wash our legs. Again, I didn't get the memo.
I'm going to figure that one
Listen,
out.
I didn't get the memo. My fax machine is on 24/7. Nobody sent me a fax. I didn't get the memo. So
That's because nobody sends faxes anymore.
I don't believe it, Chuck. I don't believe it.
I don't get it.
But yeah, if you go into a comedy show and you're easily offended, then that's just problematic, and you're there to try to push whatever agenda you want to push. I can see being offended if there's an actual world issue going on and it's
Yeah.
something against you for a cause. I can see that. But being offended because somebody over there believes that what you're doing is wrong, who cares what they think?
When
know?
I said I was raised in the era of the Archie Bunker sitcom, and it was funny. It was a sitcom.
Mhm.
I think that for me, being raised during that era, I became an adult of the generation of too soon. We're quick to tell a joke, like,
Yeah.
oh, too soon. So yeah, really,
We do that all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's too soon.
See, but is it ever really too soon? I don't think so. You
I
just
don't
gotta
know,
know your audience.
Like the queen died and somebody told a joke and they're like, too soon. I'm like, it was yesterday. Yesterday. They're still mourning, you son of a. Yeah, no.
It's all part of a 24-hour news cycle, man.
No. Rebecca says as long as we wash our feet.
I see that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
no
I
one
mean,
wants
yeah.
to walk around stank foot.
No. Could you please tell the teenagers to do that? That'd be great. Thanks.
wear socks, teenagers? That's all I gotta say.
No,
Wear socks.
No, wear deodorant. We have a youth group at church, and if you ever go up there on a Sunday night, the building smells like funky teenager.
Nice.
Like, I just want to like go up there and just hand out the deodorant and be like, mandatory, do it now. It's terrible.
Just
I don't know
have
how it
right
airs
guard
out.
as they're walking through the door and spray.
And Lysol. Some of them need Lysol too. Like, gosh,
Uh,
guys, man.
Just hand it to them and say, "Here, huff this."
No, because they probably will. Freaking teenagers, man.
There was a pretty cool moment Friday night. I was standing in the bar area of the mill, which is two sides is flanked by the garage doors, the big glass doors.
Yeah.
And they had them open a little bit just for fresh air. But it was such a cool look for a minute. Standing there, and I kind of looked into where the comedians were, and every table was filled, and there was just laughter pouring out of there. And there was 3 or 4 people deep at the bar. And I looked out towards Civic Park, and just the marquee on our cinema, I forget how cool that is
It's
until
kind of
you
cool
look
looking
at
one.
it.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, oh my gosh, that is really cool.
Mhm.
And then seeing the arcade lit up.
Did they
like
replace
it
the light
was.
on the arcade or the
They
marquee
have
over there?
fixed it. If they're still having trouble with it, I'm not sure on
Okay.
a day to day. Seeing the arcade lit up and teenagers coming in and out of there. And then I looked at, of course, JJ's was closed because he was with us, feeding us.
Right.
And then I looked over at the Machine Gun Alley, which is the beer garden of the Speakeasy.
Mhm.
And
That's a cool place over there.
it's
Like,
very cool. And it was the first time I seen the black and white movies,
Mhm.
and to see them across the street was just so cool. And then there was a resident from the Lofts that was coming in,
Mhm.
and I know who he is, so I knew that's where he was from.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we really are becoming that spot.
Starting to
you
get
know?
there. Starting
It
to
was
get
a
there.
neat
Yeah.
moment.
It's cool. And, the show today is really not one to just, boost the downtown area or whatever, but I am kind of excited about what's coming, or what's going on down here. I don't know if you're part of, the Edwardsville connection or whatever, but
I wasn't until it was brought to my attention that they are as bad or worse than on some of their comments and at each other, that I had to look at it.
Oh, Edwardsville?
yeah,
The Edwardsville connection.
Oh, Connection,
Do they
Yeah.
complain about everything that comes in their town too? That's so funny that you
Do.
say that. The amount of comments that I've read about people complaining about Scooter's Coffee coming in. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we need another coffee place. Like, would you rather it just be an empty lot? Now, I know you want a Chick-fil-A. I know that you want whatever else that you can think. You want this.
whatever we don't
well,
have.
Could have
people
been a
want,
White Castle. Like, you know what? Go out and franchise one yourself, or shut up.
Yeah.
Period. Like, it's a tax-paying business that's building a new building in our town. That I want to stop and pause on that for a second. A new building is being built in our town. Some company had interest in investing, building a new building in our town. Shut up.
Yeah. I'm
Absolutely.
yeah, I agree with you. I want to play devil's advocate here a little bit.
Oh, of course you are.
Well, sometimes
Bring it on.
sometimes I like to think about it. Hit and run. I love hit and run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I love hit and run. I love where hit and run is at. It's a
Mhm.
drive-through place.
Mhm.
I absolutely hate trying to get through Maryville Road sometimes, or I hate trying to come off of Orville sometimes, because people are parked in the street trying to get in the hit and run or anything like that. I'm curious as to where the entrance to Scooters is going to be at, because I hope that they plan this very well, because I would really hate to see that become another situation where Johnson Road.
Well, Scooters
is-
has a
is
giant
going to
loop around. I think there'll be plenty of room. Edwardsville works it out where their Scooters is, and it's just as congested over there, right next to a set of
Yeah.
stoplights too.
I'm just curious, but I like Scooters coffee.
Mhm.
I've been there before. I mean, no, don't get me wrong.
It's
I also
another
like
choice.
Manhattans. I also like
Yeah.
chocolate covered creations.
It's another choice. Constantly hear people complaining about not enough choices and stuff in the city. We heard people complaining about, the coffee places don't have drive-throughs. So Mimi's has a drive-through, Scooters has a drive-through now when it opens up. All these things coming to fruition, yet there's still a significant amount of people on these forums or on these Facebook groups that are like, oh, another coffee place, another chicken place. I said it before.
Sweet Treats from
You
the
know?
Heart is
Yeah.
coming on Madison Avenue.
Yeah.
The
like-
old medicine shop.
Oh,
What
nice.
was it
Yeah,
called?
I think I saw
Medicap?
that. I did see that.
They're
Yeah.
working on that now. I believe it also has a drive-through.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't care.
Built a new fence around it, going to make the building look great.
Yeah,
Another business investing in the city.
absolutely.
In comparison to an empty building that's generating no tax revenue.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
we are finally on an upswing, and there's always going to be those people.
like
Always
and
gonna be
I
those
challenge
people.
you, if you want a White Castle or a Chick-fil-A, first off, best of luck to you. Second off, if you think that the people that are working in economic development here haven't tried, you're probably wrong. Third off, if you really want a franchised business in here that really catches your eye, get together with some people and come up with the scratch and open it yourself. But you won't. You'll sit behind a keyboard and you'll clickety-clackety away, and you won't shut your mouth, and you'll continue the negativity streak.
Absolutely.
The
that's
next
what you
what
do.
street?
Negativity street.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Over
Or
and
you
over
start
again.
bitching about things because they're not going your way.
Oh my
and,
God! If it
stuff
would have
like
been a
that.
White Castle, it would have been 20 people complaining about, we need another burger place in this town.
Right.
White Castle's trash. I hate it. Rah, rah, rah. Like, you can't be pleased. You just can't be pleased. What do you want? Who hurt you?
Okay, I want a steak. And a
Well, I
baked-
do too,
and
but
a
steak
baked
places aren't a
potato
thing anymore.
place. And I don't even care.
Then shut up and open a Pondo, okay?
Ooh.
Right?
Ponderosa.
I'm gonna go the rest of the way on that, and I want it to be an Italian.
you want
Owned.
you want an Olive Garden?
No, I want like a real Italian making that steak.
Oh, okay.
You want a
and
what?
Pasta.
Well,
You want a real
steak
what?
house-
You want a real
steak house,
what?
An Italian.
An Italian, huh?
Yes. You apparently have never had a perfect steak from a pasta house that
Made by an Italian.
I would
There ain't
suggest
nothing
that
better.
you drive over to the hill. There's plenty of choices.
Where do you think I'm
there.
coming from? Yes, I know what I know. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the
Ah,
old Ravenelli's location is open, right?
man.
Put an Italian restaurant in there. Oh, there was one there at one point.
Oh,
Rebecca,
yeah.
I would agree with you. I would love to have a White Castle closer. Again, Bill, I don't have the money to invest in a franchise for a White Castle.
Well, listen, hey, we can always band together and put our money together and open a White Castle.
There we go. In the
Like-
Metro Inc.
Yeah. Hey, it's doable. People have done it before. Plenty of people have done it before.
Yeah.
Plenty of people have done it with plenty of different restaurants, Burger King locations, Taco
You know,
Bells.
On
like-
this topic, we should definitely in the future soon invite Ryan Worthen
Oh, yeah.
from Pizza,
Pizza
World.
World.
Ryan's
yeah.
good. Yeah, him and his dad
Um,
are good people.
He's got some stories from his dad.
Mhm.
There was a situation that was on Facebook. I'm going to say 3-4 months ago, not that much longer, but somewhere in that area. And I don't know what it was that people were complaining that we had to have, or we didn't have, or we had too much of. And
Probably chicken places.
his dad got on there and told a story. And I have screenshot that. I have that somewhere about how Pizza World are franchised now.
Mm-hmm.
And how you need to go about it. And this isn't it. And the way that you are betraying your city
Mhm.
is not attracting anything.
Nope.
And what you need to do is hear A, B, and C, and D. And none of those things has anything to do with going on social media and blasting what you already have.
Well, and what companies do is they look at what's going to get me the best ROI. And if you don't have the population and the area where they're capable of building doesn't have the throughput and everything, they're just not going to put it there. Like, if there's no space for me to put this, I'm not putting it there.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but like, I'm also not paying $750,000 for the lot because somebody refuses to budge off of the
Mhm.
property they've owned for the past 40 years.
Oh, do we all know where you're talking about?
I
think
imagine. I
so.
think we do. It'd be a prime location for one of those little things, but somebody won't budge because they think they're going to get that, but they're going to die before they get it. So it doesn't matter. It's true. I mean, and you know what? More power to you. It's your property. You do with it what you want, but it ain't going to happen
Just
unless
keep paying your taxes on a piece of empty property.
keep
You know,
paying your taxes and keep letting somebody come in there and put a car lot in every once in a while and do stupid stuff. You go,
Oh, damn. We straight up pinpointed that place.
We sure did. do you, but it ain't going to happen. I think we all know that, and you probably also know that, but you just keep holding out for something that's a pipe dream. But if they don't have the location to build, they're not going to.
Yeah.
Even if they do have, like, oh man, the town's got 60,000 people in it. They're not going to put it on the outskirts because that doesn't work for them. They want that prime property, and if it's all taken up or it's not the right conditions, they're just not going to build. That's why we don't have a Chick-fil-A here. Edwardsville just got a Chick-fil-A because they're
Yeah.
like Fairview Junior without the mall. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You got to think of those things. You can't don't just, like I've said before, don't go blindly on Facebook without researching anything and be like, oh, I know everything and this is what we should have.
that's work.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
work, though. I mean, why
But
would
you
anyone
make
want
your
to do any
but
kind of
you-
research?
You make yourself look like an idiot when you
Look,
say
man,
things.
As long as you say it on Facebook or social media and you get enough people to rally behind you, it's true.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it becomes true at that point.
suddenly the city was selling every building we own for $1.
Is that
I heard it. You know what? I heard it from a friend. Everybody was getting $1 building. everybody was getting the dollar.
And this one lady
Yeah.
had like $20.
And she bought all them buildings, and I heard that the city gave her all the money to do everything with the building too. And now suddenly it's blowing up, and the city's like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, we don't even own that property."
That, my
Oh no, I
friends,
know. I heard from a reputable source. Clickety clack behind my keyboard.
Right. Right.
And now she got this fancy city job.
Oh yeah, bet she's mad. She rolling in the dough.
Because she
She
heard
just
from
making
Herkel
it.
the other day, you know.
The city like a slot machine for her. Cha-ching. Just raking in the dough.
Okay,
What is she do anyway?
Cardboard Mike? He's
Right.
got the way
Right.
in.
You know, we don't have a guest tonight, so we should
Actually-
probably should have put him. Is that Brian with a Y?
Brian with the Y.
Brian with a
my
Y.
guy.
He's my
Come
guy.
on in.
What up, fam?
What's going on? Copper squatting.
Good to see you.
You too, copper
Hello,
squat,
dear.
grab a
Hello,
mic,
dear.
and then let's tear it up in here.
Hey, brother.
You know what? Now we can let's go back to what we were visiting earlier, and let's talk to Brian about this, because it's something I've always been genuinely curious about. Did you catch the beginning of the show by
No,
chance?
I was
Well, you suck, man.
working.
I texted him. I'm like, hey, there's nobody in the guest chair tonight.
All right, there you
I was like, give me 10 minutes.
Okay, so here's a question, and like, I'm just gonna ask her. We were talking about comedians earlier, self-deprecating comedians, things like that, and like we were talking about, racial comedy and things like that. Like, is it funny? Is it not funny? Does it matter who your audience is that you're playing to? Like, is racial comedy like okay when you're addressing your own kind of people, or
What you mean your
or
own
whatever?
kind of people?
Good night, everybody. I gotta go.
You got to get past me to get out. I'm just saying. What do you mean?
Hey,
you
there's
people?
a plate glass window right there that I can get out before you can get. No,
So-
but like Chinese people, they'll talk about Asians being smart and expectations on for family
Yeah.
members. Black people, they'll talk about different
stealing
aspects.
cars and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or like white people, they talk about
gonna go
stupid
right
shit
into that.
also, like redneck stuff.
Yeah. Jeff Foxworthy.
Like in your opinion, would you consider it okay to tell racially charged jokes or racially charged humor or some of that? You watch Eddie Murphy, he talks about all kinds of stuff like that, especially back in the day,
I got my
Again.
ice cream. I got my ice cream. And you ain't got none. Yeah. Okay. So
because I want to hear the viewpoint from someone who ain't white.
got you.
I mean,
got you. I think it's funny when it comes from a place of love, okay? Like genuine affection. So if I'm out here talking about, I don't know, what's like the worst thing you can call a white person? If I'm out there using this,
we don't care what you
vernacular.
call us, really. I
Right.
mean, you can call us,
But I do want to know,
MFer
why
and,
do you
you know.
guys think that we don't wash our legs?
what?
I don't know. They just told me this tonight. I'm very upset.
I didn't
about
get the
the whole
memo either,
situation.
apparently. It's
I
white-
cannot be the only
white
one who
people
have
don't
heard
do that.
comedians talk about this.
How white people don't use washcloths either?
No, how white people don't wash their legs.
Yeah. That's
Help me out on that. I don't
I've
know.
never heard that, but that is
Get
Neither. I told him earlier. I'm
Are
like,
you
I
making
didn't get the
shit
memo.
up now.
no,
I
I'm
could have
not
been
making
saving
it up.
on soap this whole time, and nobody told me. Like,
But if you don't wash your legs, that means you just don't wash south of the border? Like, what is that?
oh
That's-
no! You do like the Chad bath, the pits and the
Oh,
crotch and
gosh.
the
The
feet. and-
Chad bath.
yeah, I
Chad
mean, you
bath,
wash
the-
the essential area, right?
The pits, the tits, and the manly bits. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
It's so gross. I think when it comes to address the question, when it comes to like telling racially charged jokes, you've got to read the room. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, everyone's got to kind of be on the same page that yes, this is going to be offensive, but because it is offensive, it is funny.
Agreed.
Like Book of Mormon was just in town, right? I heard about the Book of Mormon
Mhm.
just shortly before just shortly after coming to Christ. And I was like, this song is unbelievably offensive. I saw the show and I laughed my behind off. It was the funniest thing. And you got to understand it for what it is. If you are like super sensitive comedy is definitely not your thing.
Oh,
Right.
100%.
Because comedians, look, you look at
Yeah,
George
100%.
Carlin, you look at Jeff Foxworthy, you look at Eddie Murphy, Paul Mooney, Jerry Seinfeld. They all talked about stuff that was controversial.
Mhm.
They all talked about stuff that like really got under your skin if you allowed it to. But at the end of the day, they had their points.
Right. And it made you think. Like,
Made you think, right? It's supposed to challenge you intellectually. And if you're sitting here so stubborn and so just like shelled off, like I can't believe
yeah.
he said that.
I mean,
then you're in
yeah.
for a long night.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
Bill
going to
mentioned that
a
earlier
comedy
also.
show and you're just like I said, if you have a soft mind
Yeah.
and you're just easily offended by everything, you probably should not be going to comedy shows
No.
ever. Especially if you know the comedian. And that's my thing too. Like, I guess it's one thing if you don't know who the comedian is and you've
Right.
never been exposed to their content, but like, you know, if you're going to go to a show and it's a black comedian and they crack black jokes and that's going to piss you off, then you're stupid for going there.
Exactly.
Like, bro,
It's like it's cool. Look, you can get up and leave, and I've heard comedians say this. You can leave now, it's fine. I already have your money.
That's true.
You paid for the ticket. There are no refunds. It says it right there when you book the ticket. Like I already have your money, so I don't care if you enjoy yourself or not.
Who was that? Was that Matt Rife who said that?
Matt Rife,
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr.
Okay,
Okay.
I think Matt Guy's funny. as he
Oh,
could
I
be.
think he is.
He's
too.
pretty funny, and he does great crowd work also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his crowd work is amazing.
And what
Yeah.
got us talking about this particular thing is Friday night, the Mill, our new venue,
Yeah.
had 3 comedians and a dinner, and it was great. And the first comedian was a blind guy, and most of his jokes were about being blind.
I bet no one saw that coming.
Oh my god.
Especially him.
He did want everyone to know that he was like a very loyal boyfriend. He's never looked at another woman.
Hey!
Oh wow.
Wah, wah.
I must have really enjoyed it because I remember their jokes, right?
Yeah.
And then the second comedian was a half white and half Mexican dude.
Oh,
And that was just hilarious.
born near the Alamo?
Well, he didn't really say, but where he was leading us to, you
He's
might
hardworking and he gets other people to do the
Yes.
work for him. That's
Yes.
great. That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, it was a great. That's what got us talking about what are you gonna be triggered? Are you gonna be offended? Chuck's not a fan of
Self-deprecation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I've just never
I
been a
think I
fan.
can go either way with that. But if it's put out there,
It has to be done properly.
Well, what I
nothing-
told
yeah, this guy was funny with the way he said things.
Yeah, and kind of the way I mentioned it earlier is I think that self-deprecating humor, who was it, Louis Anderson?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that, okay, he was a big guy like that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know,
Talk
my
about his
my
weight.
biggest thing is I think it's the cheap joke. I think it's the lazy joke.
It's
you
the
know,
easy one. Yeah.
because when you look at George Carlin, that guy was a freaking genius. I mean, because the things that he said were funny, and to quote Sheldon, they were funny because they're true, but also, he's the one who really gets your mental juices flowing.
Right.
He's one of those guys. Robin Williams was kind of one of those guys
Mm-hmm.
also, I mean, they were just, these guys were the kings of comedy, so to speak, and that's not to take anything away from Cedric the Entertainer and, all those other guys,
Screw Cedric.
but
Steve
uh,
Harvey.
Steve Harvey,
Bernie
I
Mac.
love,
Those guys are hilarious.
yeah,
DL
um,
Hughley.
who's that?
So what?
DL Hughley. Exactly.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He had a
So-
TV show and everything.
So I need you to pause for a second. You said white people don't use washcloths.
yeah.
What?
Okay, please explain.
What do we use?
I use
Your
this.
hands, apparently.
No.
Hands and soap.
Oh,
No.
I don't know. Maybe that was just growing up in the locker room. Like,
I mean, like
in school.
we
So it's
we
like,
Okay.
Well, that's because you got 2 minutes to take a bath,
right, and
I
ain't
mean,
nobody keeping a white
Oh, no.
washcloth in their locker
I
that's
had
going to
one
smell
in
like
my
mold.
locker, and yeah, I cycled it through with the rest of my laundry. I knew what was happening.
Did you guys actually take showers after PE when you went to high school?
Not PE.
Okay.
When I was away at
Practice.
boarding school, it was football practice, wrestling practice, and lacrosse practice.
Okay. When I was in junior high and high school, we obviously had showers in the locker
Mhm.
rooms and that, and like there were some guys that after PE they would take showers or whatever. Not many would, and it was like, I personally think, going back to your stinky teenager comment
Mhm.
earlier, I think personal hygiene should be part of PE.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, it's
it
like-
used to be, but I mean,
PE's not even part of PE anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Are
mean-
you required to take PE these
I
days?
don't
Makes me
know.
sad.
I don't
so
think
we can't figure out what kind of bathrooms we're going to install in the high school, let alone requiring kids to shower anymore. I mean,
Oh,
that would
dear
be
God.
that would be a fiasco. And oh my gosh, the sexual harassment crap that would come out of that, and it would just be nuts. No,
You're not-
like, did you see what I did there? oh,
Speaking of nuts,
oh God.
I got a tattoo, my first tattoo ever.
I
On your
was
nuts?
watching your live.
It was super brief. This is my debut of the tattoo because I never even bothered uploading what was
I
going on.
was looking. Did you notice? I was kind of glancing.
Yeah,
like,
it's on my left shoulder.
Okay.
It's covered.
All right.
My niece Lily did it. Lily
No, you're
did it,
fine, You're fine.
and it was great. So I'm gonna show you guys what I got.
okay.
Sweet and in the Metro exclusive.
Yes.
All
I love
Alright.
it.
First time ever. Can the camera catch that?
It looks racist to me.
It probably is. It's Kiss Wally. It is the Janame, and it stands for Accept God.
Nice.
And 20 something years ago, maybe 18 years ago, when I became a believer, I saw this in a church and said, first time I ever get a tattoo, whenever I get a tattoo, that'll be my first tattoo.
Mhm.
The next one, it's you and me, buddy. We're doing the Star Trek Delta right on the chest.
oh no.
Oh, it's going to hurt like a motherfucker.
No.
But it's all good. It's all good. So I show my team at work this tattoo, and they were like, so you got balls and a secular
football.
penis, huh?
No.
And I was like, what? Is that what you saw? Yeah, I thought it was like two gay guys. I'm like, are we serious right now? Like, how did you guys see this?
Oh,
How did you see? And remember, nuts. That's what started this. I was like, there's no way in the world that you. Oh, you're just children. Like that was it. That was kind of how
All
that
right, I
whole
gotta
thing
see
went.
this again. Let me put my glasses
Oh.
on.
Yeah,
What are we looking at here?
no. It is definitely not that.
I see where they
Um,
get that.
Yeah,
And football.
Listen,
No, it's
listen.
a great.
Balls and
It's a great
football.
tattoo.
Football.
it's a
balls.
wonderful tattoo. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
it's a wonderful tattoo. I'm very proud of it.
By the way, Jesse says he's offended. There's no brown guy perspective on the show tonight.
What am I? Burnt orange?
I was literally got quiet because I was trying to figure that out. Wait a minute.
Is
Are
that
you
what's
pink?
happening?
You can't have both. You can't be brown and black.
What?
You got to pick one.
I'm not black. I'm brown. Hello.
No, it
Look,
doesn't
when
work
I think
like
of
that.
black people, I think of like the color of my shirt. I don't blend into my shirt.
Well, then we can't be called white.
No, you're pink.
Oh, I love that. From here on out. What did we call them other people? Wait a minute. What was that? I'm about to get in trouble here.
Oh, here we
Them
go.
other
Oh,
people.
Them other
the
people.
ALs, you know.
The
Instead of all the whole
ALs?
alphabet thing.
Oh,
You know.
alphabet,
The
army.
alphabet
Alternative
people? What?
lifestyle.
Yeah, we just call them AL. It's just easier
Al.
for me. Right. Just calling them out. So now I want us to be pink. Okay. We're pink. Are we in this together, guys?
Pink?
We're all
Yes!
in this together.
No. I hate to tell you this. I'm about as white can get. Have you seen
your
my
t-shirt
skin?
is
Look,
white.
the
Take a
reason
look
that
at my-
we have the lights here that we have is because he will burn under regular lights.
That's
like,
right.
That's
That
I
is
have
true.
two shades in the summertime: Casper and Lobster.
I'm with you.
That's
brother.
it.
I'm with you.
That
brother.
is it. I have photographic proof of this. I don't think she's watching tonight, but my cousin Katie took a picture of us. We were poolside one day. She took a picture of us side by side. You need sunglasses to look at my side of the picture. I mean, yeah. So
Jesse
yeah.
says you're the chocolate. We need some caramel on the show.
so. Come on down.
Come on down, Jesse. You won't.
No, he will.
He'll just pull up like I did. Just you were
Yep.
saying,
He'll be.
hey.
Rebecca says peach sounds better.
It is closer to peach.
I think peach is probably a better.
More like a 90s
adjective
computer beige.
I'm with it.
No.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't want to be in the taupe family.
but if you look at it, set a
Taupe.
vintage Packard Bell next to your
Taupe.
skin,
I
it
don't wanna be
probably
the taupe
matches.
family.
Unless you're unless it's from a smoker's house, then it doesn't match. But yeah,
How are ya?
I need you to come work on my computer for a couple of hours.
I got this problem. I've been all these pop-ups in the web pages.
Well, you know what? She
Yes,
needs to call
ma'am.
Tech Doctor then.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
That is. She needs to call Tech. How do
But-
they reach Tech Doctor?
Oh, they can call 618-451-1990 or
Slow
go
it
to
down, slow it down.
tech.gc.com.
Slow it down. Say it again.
Tech Doctor.
618-451-1990.
I like that.
Do you
Do you?
remember? Do you remember the micro cars guy?
Micro Machine?
Micro Machines.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He talks. Yeah. Pretty cool.
It's like a disclaimer.
Yeah. No kidding. It's like you hear the product and everything, and all of a sudden they zip across everything. Your penis may fall off, just like you
It's
know,
like,
like
wait,
super quick.
Wait,
or
what?
whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Did he say
That's
anal
traumatic.
leakage? Wait,
Bleeding out of your eyes.
I
and
swear
anus.
that's what all the drug commercials are, may cause sudden death.
right.
it's like it's an antidepressant. It may cause suicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
Wait,
Side effects may include
Why do I
death.
even need this then? Like,
I don't think
come
that's a side
on.
effect. You know.
It's the worst drug ever. You guys suck at this.
90% of people experience sudden death. What?
Yeah.
We got it FDA approved though. I'm not going to tell you how that happened, but it involved a big fat check. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Just push the money and make it happen. Come on, guys, make it happen.
So we
So-
lost a couple million people, but I am $3 billion richer.
That's right.
So-
Hey,
all
you know
that.
what though? If you put the statistics there, you know, if you have they use 100 people, that's okay. It's only 0.0001% of the population. That statistic negligible. We don't really care about the 100 people that actually lost their lives. You know, we just care about that small statistic there.
Mhm.
But anyway, I won't get too into statistics. I
They
hate
used,
statistics.
they used a broken calculator. It's fine.
Yeah.
You
So
tell
what's
it was that guy
what's
who's
coming up
like,
next at the mill? Do you know what the plans are up there?
There is a concert in June. Tickets are on sale now. I don't know who it is, but easily
Well, how
not.
Is it
long are my
Aubrey Bug?
tickets if I don't know who it is?
No, I wish it was.
When is she performing next?
I
'Cause I
don't.
missed her at Blue Strawberry.
That
That was
last time I
months
saw her,
ago.
she was at Al Fresco,
Oh,
and she sounded fantastic.
That's a great show.
in
I
there.
heard. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some things coming up at Al Fresco. This Sunday afternoon at 2 is Kai, Michelle Joyner's daughter,
Mhm.
Kai Hale. And she is just absolutely beautiful. She has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, very talented young lady.
She is doing the Women of Jazz.
mm.
And she's been in many productions over there. It's a one show. Definitely don't miss this. Oh, the chain. That's right. 30 special experience. Chain Lightning. That is Pagano, Mayor Pagano, and his band.
Where's the
It
mayor?
is.
He usually sits right there.
I know.
He's hiding behind Kim today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's got,
Not the
he's a-
first time.
Oh,
so we'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. It's a good
Back
thing
to
your
the
husband doesn't
other
watch the show. Huh?
Mayor Pagano, and it's a tribute band. And Scott and Michelle, I don't know what the name of their band is, but they're the openers. This is going to be good. Get a ticket.
Do they have a name? Like I thought it was just Scott and Michelle.
I don't know. Yeah, don't know that. So that's happening. But way before then, we have improv. I believe 2 nights of it at Monkey Noodle. That's coming up.
Women of Jazz with Kai. You said that, right?
Yeah.
So that
Ah.
girl, I did a video one time with Don Chenchos here in town when we were advertising their karaoke, and Kai kind of helped out with that. That girl's got some pipes on her.
Yeah, she does.
Absolutely. And I love everything she sings. She's not just stuck in one genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love her. I am very much looking forward to this concert. Well, is this a concert or it's just is it a concert when it's just one person? I don't know.
You know what I'd like to see happen, preferably at Al Fresco, but at least here in town, is I would like to see more workshops, of people who want to get into acting but don't really quite know how. we have the talent. I don't have the time to do something like that. I would love to.
Yeah.
But I would love to see workshops for things like that. I mean, we have a dance studio here, which is great. People can learn to dance. Michael does a great job over there at Effervescent Studios. But I would really like to see just like educational art going on here. How to do, how to act, how to perform, how to do other things. Just I'd like to see more artistic things here also. Maybe I'm missing something here or whatever, but someplace where people could have like paint by wine night or something like that, and
That stuff has
then-
popped up here and there.
yeah.
I believe that Manhattan's has had it more recent than anyone else. I know my class reunion was there, and we painted the cows with bangs. It was kind
Cows with fangs.
Yeah, no
Bangs.
bangs. What are
Okay.
I don't know. There's a certain name on that cow, but that was pretty cool. The arts. We also don't want to miss talking about the 2 murals that are getting ready to go in downtown at the Neon Park. That is at the intersection of Delmore and 19th. Does that sound right?
It sounds close.
Close enough. Right across from the Crumney Building. You cannot miss it. It's a plot of land that's got 2 nice buildings on each side that's going to have very neat Route 66 murals painted. That's already has started. Buildings are already primed.
Hold on. Quick question.
Yes.
Route 66
Yes.
cuts through, starts at like Chicago, makes its way all the way down to like California.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like
Cuts through here?
Santa Monica area. or
3
something like
different
that.
3 different routes of Route 66 is here. Luna Cafe. What is Luna?
Luna
on?
Cafe.
Yeah, that's like the old chain of rocks. It might have. Yeah, it would have been the old chain. No, right?
It's 203 now.
But back then it was. We have 3 routes,
That
and
is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why 3 routes for the same route?
well,
they
I
It's like
guess
changed.
the
Route
same.
66.
I guess because of the age and of the roads, like the old Alton Road used to be the only road you could get from Granite to Alton, and
Yeah,
now
so in
we have
order-
Route 3.
In order to make the road bigger or more convenient for travel through, they move. It's
Things are always
done the same
growing.
thing with
Edwardsville Road,
67. and-
the road between that is in front of the mill.
Mhm.
That is known by so many different names. For me, it is the old Edwardsville Road.
Mhm.
Oh, that is the smartest thing I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it
Mary.
makes sense.
So
Not ever, but it makes
like,
sense
Yeah.
now.
Maryville Road used to go straight through, and they diverted it over in front of the college and everything. And now you can see that little piece of road by the auto repair place that used to be Maryville Road that went straight across. I mean, they do that stuff all the time.
Well, it's like when
like-
you go down 55, when you go into different cities, you've got 55, then business 55. It's
Yep.
still 55. It just kind of like, branches off.
Sometimes the old road
so,
stays.
yeah.
Sometimes they demolish the old road to make
And then
new.
the bridges that pop up,
Mhm.
Chain of Rocks Bridge,
That was the path over.
right?
was
And then
US
when it closed in
66.
65, there had to be a new path.
Yeah,
Right.
because
So-
that bridge just wasn't like the
wasn't
angle
viable.
that makes was disastrous. I mean, it was
Yeah.
I've been on that bridge a lot, and thinking about driving a large vehicle with another vehicle coming with those lanes being that tight. No.
I was gifted just Saturday. I was gifted this
You
gentleman
are
at the shop
gifted.
handed me a picture. Real simple picture. If you've taken Highway 40 down to Skinker, this was a picture of Skinker Boulevard. Highway 40. It used to end at Skinker, where Skinker is now. And just the fact that was the end of the highway kind of blew my mind a little bit. Then he gave me 4 names for what it used to be called. It was the Daniel Boone. It was 3 others. I don't know. I forgot the names of them, but it was really cool, and I appreciated that. I appreciate the history of it all. And there's
Yeah.
so much out here.
There's some really cool stuff in St. Louis too. Like if you look at an aerial
Mm-hmm.
map in some of the original city neighborhoods, you'll see what either look like large alleys or like spots where it looks like there used to be roads and stuff, and that was all trolley traffic
Mhm.
stuff that like there were turnarounds and intersections, and it's really neat. And I didn't notice it until I was a field tech and I drove around over there, and there's like these random big, like oversized alleys and different turnoffs and stuff that really kind of don't go anywhere. I'm like, what is this? And if you look at it from a satellite view, it follows from all the way downtown out into the neighborhoods, and you can see where they would have turned around and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me on a YouTube rabbit hole about how the vehicle industry pretty much destroyed what was already in place and cheaper, which was the public transit system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go to work for like next to nothing, hopping on this trolley car that goes all the way to the industrial area and branches off in 40 different directions, but then people all got cars. Yeah.
And ruin the
that's pretty cool.
environment.
And now the transit system in St. Louis is absolutely adorable.
Oh yeah, it's not great.
So you have the train system?
The
Or
transit
tram
system, the buses.
Yeah.
Look, in New York City, rush hour is legit. Like 2 to 3 minutes, you're waiting for a bus or a train. Maybe 7 minutes. Maybe that's rush hour. Rush hour out here, it's like half hour, 45 minutes. Who's rushing in half an hour, 45
Yeah.
minutes? Like that is not rush.
Right. No. Rush hour is a complete and total oxymoron because you hurry up, you leave your office, and you get in traffic, and you sit.
Oh, yeah, that's why I used to
You
just
know?
sit. Like when I worked at the office, I would just come quitting time, just work more, because what am I going to do? Just sit in traffic and be pissed off?
Yeah.
You see, when you're sitting in traffic, you're not sitting in traffic. You are a part of traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
Well,
just part of the issue.
I kind of used to the same way you did, Bill. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I have a choice. I can sit or be a part of traffic. I can, sit in my car, be angry as hell because
Mhm.
the people are not moving or whatever, or I can sit in my office for another hour that I would have sat in traffic
And then leave and
and
just
then
drive
leave
home.
and get home in 15,
Straight
20
home.
minutes.
Yep. Well,
you
and
know?
what always pissed me off is it's the same spots every day. And it's not necessarily a problem that there's not enough road there, like
Yeah.
there's not enough lanes. It's just that everybody's an idiot and doesn't remember every freaking day when they need to get over to exit or what they're doing, and then they inevitably cause a wreck.
Like the
And,
Skinker
like-
Boulevard exit.
Thank you.
Because it's
Thank
like
you.
See?
I watch this guy, and it happens every single time.
Every
You're
day.
driving, and I'm like, all right, cool. Far right lane is gonna come to an end, then it's gonna open up again.
Yep.
And as soon as it opens up, that's the exit.
Uh-huh.
That's it. The lane to the left of it, you can exit, but you can also continue on 64. And every day that I drive this thing, there's that one idiot who's like, oh, the line is solid. Oh, I have to get over because
Yep.
this isn't my exit. Oh, I need to bully my way in. And there's some
Mhm.
truck who's like, you poor schmuck.
Well, the same-
like that's just not happening.
The same thing happens coming over 64 from Illinois. You can either go up like right next to the I just lost it. How it goes both
Yeah,
ways.
It goes
still diverge
right.
back
So
down
one
into
goes
the
down to
bridge.
Cahokia,
Exactly, yes.
and then there's like the one on the right that
right.
kind of goes
but
into East St.
people
Louis. and then-
freak out at the last second.
yeah.
And they're like, I can't go that upper way because I'm going to get stuck in some void. No, it goes through,
to the exact
you
same spot.
freaking moron.
Which, by the way, leads to the best accidents. I don't know why they keep repairing that like crash bar in the middle because it just keeps getting wrecked. And somehow
I'm sure they had some sort of engineering reason for doing that, but that literally just made it a cluster. I truly believe that if the highway was just merged there and they just made an off ramp to go down to Cahokia, that this would not happen. But just like the Skinker thing, like that design is bad, but you would think that after you've been driving it for God knows how long, all those people have to have been driving it.
Mhm.
Like, stop. It's not it like out by Brentwood, it's the same freaking thing. Nothing's different out there, but you guys can't get over the fact that, oh my gosh, that's an exit only over there. And for some reason, I take this road every day, but I'm going to be in that exit only lane and need to whip over at the last second and screw everything up.
lots of
Yeah,
accidents.
what's always been a big mystery to me has been like when you're on the interstate, maybe you got 3-4 lanes in some spot, the left lane, all the way left where there is no exit, there's nothing but like zoom, zoom, zoom all the way. How it comes to a complete and total stop, not a crawl,
Yep.
not slow, We're talking about a lane with no exits. And
It's
if you look at 270 that comes across, that's right, Missouri people, we're Illinois people bitching about your roads over there.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, it's
you know,
fine.
But we
I'm still a New Yorker at heart. I don't give a damn.
especially if you get up to like 270 and 44 across, where
Uh-huh.
you're down like Gravois net.
Yes.
You're not going anywhere further to the left than you
Nope.
are in that lane.
Unless you're going
So-
into oncoming traffic.
Why does it stop?
I don't know. And it
Yeah,
does there every day.
I really wish that they would. You know what? Get in a. I am all for this. Get in a helicopter. Start zooming on license plates.
Send 'em
the
tickets.
asshole
Send them
that's
tickets.
doing
Yep.
35 miles an hour down there, or the one who zips over there.
Fight you.
Start giving tickets, man.
You know, they
You
used
know,
so
I-
they used to give tickets for people driving too slow.
Yeah, that's why the highways have
they?
minimums on it.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the minimum's 45 on most highway systems,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
which is atrocious either way, because let me tell you how most people are not going the speed limit, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. Some people just got ticket money. You got ticket money, you drive as
you
fast
know
as
what?
you
I
want to
think they
drive.
should
That's what the
abolish
left-
speed limits.
left lane
That's
is
me.
for.
I think on the interstates, abolish speed limits.
Just make
Texas
it like
just
the
went to
Autobahn.
85.
Ooh. I just
And
got
listen, on the
super
way back
excited.
from Tennessee, I was doing 85 most of the way. Cruise control.
Yeah, I don't see the. I know people say, "Oh, you cause more accidents and things like that."
No, you don't. People
Not
get,
if
get out
everybody's
of the
Mad
way.
Maxing out there, you know. and
Listen,
just-
I think it should be like, hey, as long as it's a structured highway, it should remain the same as the law is now. The left is the passing lane, drive faster. The right is the I'm a grandpa and can hardly see over the steering wheel lane. That's where you belong. If you're not
Mhm.
comfortable with driving over 55 miles an hour and you still want to use the highway, stay in the right lane. The exits aren't on the left. Very rarely is there an exit on the left, and that's
Yeah.
for a reason. Stay over in the right lane. And us people who are capable of driving and don't want to drive the speed limit, we drive faster than the speed limit, we'll stay in the left lane
Yeah.
and just leave us alone.
Listen, it's not good enough to drive faster than the speed limit in the left lane. You need to be actively passing people in
Yes.
that lane.
Yes.
That is the whole purpose of it.
Yes,
Don't
it
be
is.
like, but in the speed limit 60 and I'm doing 70. Move!
Well,
I have some place to go.
Yeah, there's some
okay?
people that listen to that law that, oh, if you're passing someone, you can only pass them if they're doing under the speed limit, and you can't exceed the speed limit when you're passing.
Let me tell you about passing people, and I do this very, very well. Okay. Every lane is a passing lane if you can pass them. It's like
Never
If-
mind what that line looks like.
If-
Solid, striped, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
as long as the yellow lines aren't on the right side of my vehicle, I'm good and I'm passing. That's how that works. It's like, all right, well, he's just not going to pass this guy. Fine. I've done it.
You
I don't
know,
think I've done it with you in the car, but I've bounced from like the far left lane where people are just dragging behind, okay, this one's not moving either. I'm in the right lane. I know this is an on ramp right here. I'm gonna burst past everybody.
that's
Yep.
the way they do it in Texas all the time.
That's why I like the
6
three-lane
lanes of
highways.
traffic.
You got the slower lane.
Oh yeah,
You have the fast lane, and then you have the travel lane. You know, you got that center lane. Sometimes you can zip in through
Yep.
or whatever, you know. But I've got, I won't say had to, because that's kind of an excuse. I've bounced into the right lane before myself and been like,
I did it 3 times on the
the
way
entire
here.
time I'm driving, you
Kidding
know,
me?
like giving the guy in the left lane the evil eye because, you know,
Oh, no,
I
no.
got somewhere to go.
I keep my eyes on the
I
road.
think everything is AI this and AI that now. I really think that I saw somebody on TikTok before I get into this. I said that was like, listen, you're doing the wrong thing with AI. I don't want you to bring AI into my job and work me out of a job. I want you to bring AI into my home and do my laundry. I want you to bring AI
Yes.
into my daily chores and mow my lawn and do this and do that. I want them to bring AI into road design.
You gonna
And-
you gonna talk about the robots?
No, but you can. Yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead.
No,
Road design,
that was
AI.
my-
Go ahead.
You know, that was my point, but I want them to bring AI into vehicle and not vehicle, but road design. Like, listen, you know the struggles. Let's fly your helicopter over, put a camera up, whatever you got to do, observe the way the traffic flows through here, and then use AI to fix it.
As long as it doesn't branch off into more than 5 areas. you know?
Right. And as long as it doesn't put roundabouts in as a solution, you know, like,
Oh.
Yeah.
oh my god.
No, I was going.
No.
you talk about laundry and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Like the age of the robots is here.
Oh, it's
iRobot.
coming. Yeah.
Like Rosie Jetson is not too far away, you know,
Mhm.
because I've been seeing more and more articles and ads. Like I used to be enamored with Osimo. Do you remember who Osimo is?
Yeah.
So Osimo was the Toyota robot that was, you know, started to kind of make an appearance back in the late 90s, right? Very basic, very rudimentary. He could stand, walk, things like that. But now they've got, they've even started campaigns where some of these new, let's call them Android because that's what they are. But these, you can be paid to let some of these manufacturers use your face as a model for these like home-based robots that are coming out.
Mhm.
Listen,
I mean, it's really crazy. I'm saying in the next 5 to 10 years, for sure, more and more people, that's going to be the new car. More and more people are going to have these Android or these house robots in their house. There
Absolutely.
was a,
who wouldn't want this face?
No, hold on.
Right
I switched the
here.
camera. There you go.
Who wouldn't
There
want
you
this
go.
face doing your laundry? Who wouldn't want this face driving you around? Who wouldn't want to see this face? Let me tell you how jealous I am of the rest of you. You guys get to see me. I have to look in the mirror. I'm a damn good looking guy. Like, I know this.
if you do say so yourself.
If I do say so, I do say so myself. But yeah, you guys, I would love to have a robot that had my face. It might scare the hell out of me every once in a while. Like, oh, that's me.
Good
Oh,
morning,
that's cool.
sir.
and please don't monotone that. Use some sort of diphthong or something every now and again.
Diphthong. Well, there's
Yeah.
a word I don't think has ever been mentioned on this program
Oh,
before.
well, now you got it.
Diphthong.
I'm with
Yeah.
you, Chuck. I think that I bet within the next 5 years, and I think the first company that turns robots, usable robots, into a subscription service is going to be the winner,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because there's not too many
Generate a
people
lot
like.
of capital.
Did anybody watch the movie back in the day? It was like 2000 Bicentennial Man.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
literally just about to mention
Yeah.
that movie.
That was
So
Robin Williams. wasn't
great,
it?
yeah, great Robin Williams. movie.
perfect example of a household robot. Now, the story obviously was the robot was sentient and so on and so forth, but the tasks that the robot did, laundry, cleaning, cooking dinner, all that stuff, the things that people have to come home from work and do,
Yeah, butler, maid, however you want to.
Pretty much.
Please
Home
cook me
servant.
dinner.
and it doesn't get tired. You plug it in and let it recharge. You tell it what to do. I think the things that we're waiting on now are the instant response from the AI, which I kind of have ideas about that too. And I'm sure
Mhm.
a lot of other people that make tons more money than I do also have that, because you can't afford, like, no company is going to be able to afford to put the legitimate AI hardware into a robot that you need for instantaneous AI response.
Right.
It's too expensive. At least now it's too expensive. But I think
Within
you
the
could,
decade, though.
yeah, but I think that you could actually augment that with having AI, high availability AI hardware near city centers where your robots are going to be.
Mhm.
And but if they make it a subscription service, because nobody's going to pay, at least none of us common folk are going to pay
Right.
$20,000 for your robot to be in our house.
Right.
You make it a subscription service or a lease thing or whatever that looks like, and people, they'll just be flying off the shelves. You won't be able to get them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If I could have a robot like the one in Bicentennial Man that just did that stuff, I don't even need to have intelligent conversations with the thing. I'm like, listen, go fold my freaking clothes.
Yeah.
I don't
And
care.
The best part, they would be perfect folds every
Yep.
single time.
No need to iron.
No need to iron. Have you seen how people like fold clothes? They fold their t-shirts
Mhm.
so they just fit perfectly.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, hey, look, the label. Yep, that's the shirt I want. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, imagine saying, okay, I'm going to come home from work. Dinner's already made, because
Mhm.
I told the robot, Android, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
when to have it done. Dinner's already made. Everything's already taken care of. I can go fishing. I can take the kids to the park. I can go
And
do
that's
this.
what it's going to
whatever.
be sold on.
Exactly.
That's the point it's going to be sold
The
on.
convenience.
Yeah, I don't have to come home.
Convenience, quality
Yeah.
of life, family life,
Because,
things like that.
I mean, look at things as simple as robot vacuums. Like, listen, there are some people out there that don't want, a Google Home device or an Apple HomePod or an Amazon Alexa device in their house because they're freaking out about it.
Yeah.
But you have a robot freaking vacuum with cameras and LiDAR sensors, and it's mapped the entire inside of your home. that's because of convenience.
I
Like-
love mine.
Like, listen, I don't care what Alexa listens to. You know, if you think I'm interesting, I love my dad. I love my dad, but I've told him this multiple times because he's one of those that's like, I don't want him hearing my stuff and blah blah blah. And that's like the reason why he doesn't want to get a Facebook page, because I don't need people knowing my stuff. Nobody cares about your stuff. Nobody cares about my stuff. I'm not that interesting of a person. I'm just not. Like, okay, cool. He talks about stupid YouTube stuff. And, you know, like I was just watching Pakistani guys make lathes by pouring steel into a mold that they dug in the ground the other day. How interesting is that to you? It's only interesting to the companies that know that I want to watch those stupid videos and what products I want to buy. That's all it is. That there ain't nothing you're saying in your house unless you're cooking meth. And honestly, most people don't care if you're cooking meth. They just want to sell you the beakers.
Dang.
He's not wrong. It's funny because it's true.
It's
Yeah.
true. Nobody cares. The government ain't going to figure out you're cooking meth because an Alexa device was listening. The government going to figure you're cooking meth because you're selling it.
Well, they're going to
Or
figure out
your
you're
house
cooking.
blows up.
Right.
No, they're going to figure you're cooking meth because of what you're spending on your debit card.
There you go. Like,
That's how they're going to figure out you're cooking meth. I mean, there's nothing that's secret, private, or anything like that
and honestly,
anymore.
I would bet that most of the captures that come from that aren't from that even data that's that deep. I would imagine it's from the neighbor smells something weird and they report it. Or the neighbor saw you dragging a bunch of crap into your house that looks suspicious, or you've done run your mouth too many times and everybody knows where the meth lab is. Like, I
Right.
bet that's where those busts come from. The devices listening to you, including your cell phone that you carry around, like they just want to sell you things.
Yeah, they don't care.
Nobody cares. And
Yeah.
that's what kills me. And what really kills me is the conspiracy theorists like, I don't want nobody listening, but they got a phone in their pocket. Like, bro, are you stupid?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the bottom line of that is if you carry a cell phone around, whether they are or are not, I mean, I think everyone, with the exception of maybe you, but I think you're coming around. I think everyone in this room knows that we're being listened to
24/7.
all the time if you have a cell phone. And a lot of people, and I don't care what side of the aisle you fall on, when the government started giving you free cell phones, they were basically giving you a free spy device, because the Patriot Act, hate to tell you guys, this for all that to say, hey, I think that so-and-so is going to do something. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, purple, or pink.
Yep.
They basically handed you a device to listen to you on, and you went, ooh, free phone? Okay,
Well,
but-
and most of the day they're using from that is the location data anyway.
Mhm.
yeah,
I mean,
so
This guy spends a lot of time at Home Depot.
Well, and
getting
you
shopping
got to
bags.
think. So a lot of people are freaking out about all this stuff, but you got to think the massive amount of storage required for me to just record an entire city's worth of people having their phones 24/7. Because listen, if I am going to spy on you, I want to record what you're saying 24/7, right? I might miss something if I don't. Think about the massive amount of storage that would be required for me to record every person's smartphone, an entire city, 24/7, 365.
well, it wasn't, but 8 years ago, maybe it's been longer than that because I'm old and I'm just don't have a really good grasp of time.
Mhm.
It wasn't too long ago that Verizon was capturing all that data, and they got sued over it, and they were doing it all under the guise of the Patriot Act, well, if they ever need this information, and they got sued over it. And I want to, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was phone conversation data.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different though. I mean, and that is still a lot of storage that you're talking about for even recording phone conversations. But yeah, they did, and it was like a Patriot Act monitoring thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But
How do people find out that they're being recorded, though?
I think they just
You
probe into
don't.
the information.
Yeah, here's the thing: you don't it's like Alexa. Okay, when so I have an Alexa device at my house, right? What do I say to activate it? Alexa, play whatever. When I say Alexa, first of all, that device is always listening for keywords, for
Yep.
trigger words.
Wake words.
It's the same thing here. When this is a kind of a stretch, but have you ever seen the Bourne movies, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Bourne movies?
I know
well,
what you're about to say. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
there are trigger words that the phones and like
Mhm.
anything that's being monitored, they may have just like a small thing going on in the background. You say something like bomb, when you're near an airport, I promise you, if you say something on your phone, there's something that goes on your phone that someone's going to listen to that conversation, or at the very least, it's going to be recorded.
Mhm.
And if you say those trigger words multiple times, you get put on a special list.
Yep.
And then when you get put on that special list, guess what? Now, under the Patriot Act, and attorneys out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but under the Patriot Act, they now have
they have full rights to monitor everything.
to monitor
you do.
everything.
Yep. Mhm.
People year round, phone conversations, text, everything else, on your
shame.
phone. That's how slippery this
Mm-hmm.
is. And everyone's like, well, my phone's not listening. Well, first of all, horseshit. Yes, your phone is listening, because if you say something and you go to Facebook 2 hours later,
2
I'll be damned if
hours.
there are
2 hours.
2 minutes, whatever. I'll be damned if there are not
Yes.
advertisements based on
Oh, yeah.
something you
Yeah.
talked
Right.
about that you've
100%.
never searched for.
Yep.
I
know?
mentioned the
That's true.
pain pill. This was a few years ago, probably about 6-7 years ago. I mentioned the pain pill. Pain pill has nothing to do with an actual oral pill that you take. It's about that big,
Mhm.
and it's made of literal, just like it's steel and it's polished. And the whole point, it's a massage piece. Like you just put it in your back. It's like it's meant to put direct pressure.
Are you buying personal massages?
No,
Massages,
no.
Brian?
So a friend that I had a few years ago, he had a pain pill,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife used to enjoy, like, he'd go work out because he was a CrossFit trainer, and he'd go work out and he'd pull something in his back, and she'd be like, I got you. And it would hurt. And it was like, okay. So one time we're hanging out and I had like a cramp in my calf, and he was like, I got you. And he put this thing on me. I was like, good grief, this is and I'm talking about this pain pill. The very next time I opened up Facebook, which was probably 3.7 seconds later, an ad for the pain pill popped up. And I was like, yeah. Anybody who says their phone isn't listening, I promise you, you're an idiot.
Well, and that just proves my point that they don't care. They just want to market you stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think people need, to a certain degree, yes, with things like the Patriot Act, people are spying. Absolutely. But I think people need to think logically when it comes to things like, oh, well, they're doing this or they're doing that. Like, especially things like chemtrails. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, that Southwest Airlines 737 up there is totally dropping chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
Okay. Where are they storing this liquid or solid or whatever it is that they're dispersing out of the plane? Because Southwest Airlines is a for-profit company, and they've loaded that plane full of passengers and cargo and luggage and fuel. And where's the chemical? Because if they're drawing a chemtrail from their originating place to their destination, that's a lot of chemical. Where's it at? It's not in the fuel. Where's it at? Now, we've completely ignored contrails, which involve gases and vapors condensating and turning into, condensation trails that are left in the sky and have been since the dawn of flight. But we don't think logically like, okay, cool. Unless that's an empty airliner, which that's all public record. You can see who was on that plane and who wasn't on that plane, legit records. And if you want to be diligent enough, you could go down and see if those passengers actually even get off the plane if you really wanted to, and confirm whether that was a chemtrail or a contrail that was coming out of that plane. But there are people just dead set on that stuff, that it's where they're poisoning us, blah, blah, blah.
See, I think and we'll close up shop here soon, but I think that I kind of disagree with you a little bit on that, because yes, we know that, and I don't know how to explain all the chemtrail stuff. However, if you have Southwest flight, or whatever, or United, just to be fair, or American Airlines or whatever, if you have those flights, they're not always full.
No.
They're not always full. But also, if you think about the compression rates that you can put chemicals in and the concentration rates that you can make with chemicals, if they're just activated by oxygen,
It doesn't make it weigh any less.
What's that?
It doesn't make it weigh any less.
No, it doesn't make it weigh any less. However, it does as far as room goes.
Oh, yeah. You could find hollows on an airplane and everything like that.
Right.
But where is it in the interest of Southwest Airlines to do this?
Well, like you said, they're for-profit companies. So if the government gives them a kickback to store an extra few containers in their plane, then it would be in their best interest,
So
stock wise, to do that.
on top of that, where are the records of the equipment being installed on the plane to disperse it? Did Boeing do it? Did Southwest do it? Did the government come in and
I
retrofit
wouldn't
the
know
plane?
that. No one
Because
would know that.
FAA, yes, they would, because FAA records are very stringent. And how many planes have we recovered crash
Is
stuff
the
from?
FAA
That
a government regulated?
they are,
Okay.
but how many planes have we recovered crashed remains from that had atmospheric dispersion systems installed?
Yeah, but my point is, it's the FAA is a government
Nobody's
regulated.
leaked any of that.
Fair point.
Nobody, not a single person's like, yes, I worked on that.
Can
I'm
we
on
be
my
thinking?
deathbed. I'm on my deathbed. I'm dying. I worked on that whole chemtrail stuff, and it's legit, guys. Not a single person. You've got droves of people coming out that said Kennedy was an inside job, but not a single person says that we're spraying chemicals on the entirety of the United States.
Well,
I mean,
usually they die really, really quickly.
They
There's
get
no deathbed.
unalived. Is that what? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
yeah,
Say,
That's
suicided.
We have
no,
to
we
say
can't say
unalived.
that.
Oh,
Unalived.
my bad.
Yeah.
Unalived? Yeah.
Yes.
Unalived. Yeah.
Quick,
we can't
fast,
use
and
the
in a
S
hurry,
word
and
or the K
usually in
word apparently.
parts.
So, all right.
No, when we say all kinds of other things on here, I don't know why we're
Yeah.
holding back.
Who knows? Well, Brian, I appreciate you stopping by the show tonight for sure, man.
I was thinking. I appreciate. Thank you for having me. Kind of let me.
Well, you just kind of
crash the
showed
party.
up, but
I
that's
did.
okay.
I did. I just. Thank you for having me. You like me. You really like me.
All right, Sally.
I forgot what I was going to say, so it's all good. I always enjoy coming back. I remember last time I was here, you weren't, which
I
was
not-
fine.
No, this is the first time we've kind of all been in the
Mhm.
studio
In
for
a
a couple
while.
weeks now. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, yeah, I was doing the math. This is what I was going to say. The majority of the time that I'm here, an F-bomb drops. Now it's like 50%. I've made 6
Who
appearances.
said
They've
that
been like
bomb
3.
today?
No one.
Oh,
This is
okay.
my
Well, we
sixth
did
appearance.
plenty of time right before we went on air. Like, in fact, Chuck, why don't you tell us how you were going to open?
No, I'm not gonna. if I were going to do that, no. There's a reason I didn't do that. At the
Well,
beginning
let's
of the
close
actual
it
live
that
show.
way.
No,
Ooh.
no, I don't want to
Sorry, I
alienate
missed
anybody. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, then on that note, let's talk about tacos real quick, just for a
Tacos?
second. I like the third time tonight, right? You've heard tacos.
I know, bro.
Next Saturday, at Nick's Bar,
Mhm.
the
Wait, where's Nick's?
Nick's is on Namioki, down by the shopping center.
Yep.
We're having our
Yes.
very good tacos.
Okay, yes.
We're having a taco fundraiser for our Christmas lights. It's a committee that's got put together,
Sweet.
and we have some fundraisers happening, and we're trying to raise some money to put the nice, bright, lit up Christmas holiday type things
Awesome
on.
stuff.
Yeah, on
I
our
love that
poles.
it's April and we're talking about Christmas.
Hey, you
Yeah.
gotta prepare.
You
yeah,
do.
absolutely.
I love that this committee's doing this now, because most of the time these type of things are like, oh crap, it's November.
October,
you ever try to book?
November.
You ever
And
try to
then-
book Santa Claus in
yeah.
July?
Mhm.
Good luck.
Really?
And then
Oh,
I
yeah,
have an
good luck.
apology.
Oh, you have an
Um,
apology?
Yeah, I have an apology. I mentioned that earlier. Last year, it was prom this weekend.
Mhm.
It was prom. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was prom. Last year, the mayor started this
Salud.
group with the young adults. I believe they were juniors at the time. And one of the things that he has done with this advisory committee is we started something called pre-prom. Everybody's for 20 years we've had the after prom.
Yeah.
So this was a new thing that started last year. It was called pre-prom, and so this was the second annual. And last year it was Viva Las Vegas has a theme. Very cool. This year it was called Dancing Through the Decades. So at the Mill, the venue, after we had our comedy and dinner night, they started decorating for it. And the things that I saw, the props, the cutouts, actually, that's where Cardboard Parkinson came from last year. But anyway, didn't have him there this year. The lady that really puts her heart and soul into it, Cheryl Crawford, she asked me, are you coming tomorrow to help? And you were here last year. And I said, no, I've committed myself to the after prom. It's something I wanted to see what that was like too.
Mhm.
So I could see the disappointment, whatever. But I'm still doing the prom thing. So Saturday rolls around. I didn't even give pre-prom a thought, which also meant that prom came and went, and I forgot all about after prom.
Oh,
You call yourself an
no.
alderman.
Oh my God. No, you all do
Wow.
that.
Well, I mean, we're all aware of the single term thing. So
Yes, it's one a termer. Listen, in all fairness, I would have just been a problem if I was there because we know me and a bunch of teenagers probably not going to be good.
Is it because you're all the same height?
Probably.
Oh,
And what they don't
okay.
think of, I will, and I'm older and can buy it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
It's not
No.
But it's not good.
Wow.
And
Kim's
I-
a bad influence.
Yeah, and I need to be asleep by like 11:15, 11:45 at the latest.
At night?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's
night
like,
owl.
Damn.
I
You a
turned
night
down
owl.
a too.
Okay, no, and this was going to be till 3:30 in the morning, which I was all for it. I was ready. I am very sorry because I know how important
Mhm.
volunteers are. When you commit as a volunteer, you've got to follow through. I just didn't think about it. I could tell you all kinds of excuses. My husband's sick. My dog got hit. I don't know. I couldn't think of a good one. So
John Adams,
I forgot.
first one-term president.
She gonna be lucky to make it through her first term.
Well, it's not like they haven't asked me to leave.
Okay, fair point.
Wow.
Fair
wow.
point. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining us this evening again. You know, Brian. I'm very glad you stopped by this evening. Bill, you've done a fantastic job as usual. Kim, always loved co-hosting the show with you. It's always a great pleasure. Love having you guys just kind of check us out in that, whether it's live or through the week. Make sure you catch our other show that comes on Thursday nights, mostly hockey guys. Tim, Justin, Daryl, we love you guys. You guys are great. Appreciate
Yes.
the little notes that you leave for us. But yeah, check those guys out. They're really awesome. Come down here, check out the studio. If you guys are interested in doing your own show, come in and talk to us. We're happy to talk to you about that. Also, while you're here, grab some of the food that's down here. Also, it's
Mhm.
really, really good. Whether it's from Garden Gate, Downtown Diner, getting some cereal over to Board Gamer, which is
Burger.
freaking fantastic to have a cereal bar
Yes.
over there. But yeah, appreciate you joining us. Catch us here again next week, same time, same channel, GCRX 715. Have a great one, guys.
Ciao.